One heart, one soul, one mission. One voice, one hope, one vision.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. In the wonderful walled city of Limerick, we are starting our tour here. We do this and then we go into Dublin and then Belfast and Waterford. And then we finish this year in New York. Yes, I know, on St. Patrick's Day, and I'll tell you a bit more about that later. In fact, we've got a job to do in the second half about that, so don't let me forget. Now, the orchestra, they're awesome. They've been going 28 years. It's a real pleasure to be at the helm of them. But you know what? I think the reason why we're really here tonight is to hear the wonderful people in the Limerick Peace Proms Choir. Give them a round of applause. In fact, let's lay some ground rules, right, which is any time I say the Limerick Peace Proms Choir, you immediately erupt into applause. So any time I say Limerick Peace Proms Choir, that's it. That's great, because it's really their show. They've been working for weeks, indeed months, on their songs, and we're about to hear the first one. This is a famous song by The Script, and it's all about resilience and achieving your dreams, and it's called Hall of Fame. Right away, that's impressive, isn't it? Go on, we'll show them again. Go on, sit down, sit down. Also, any time that they do anything, you burst into applause, okay? Right, here we go. Watch, 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 watch. I told them if they kept waving, you'd keep cheering. Now watch this. This is really impressive. Ready, ready, ready. Arms down. Look at that. The control. Yeah, bless you. Take a seat, you guys. What a great sound. Brilliant. Time now to introduce one of our special guest soloists. Now, what we're about to play has huge and ancient significance for the nation because ancient Irish texts tell the story of Brendan the navigator who sailed west in the hope of finding new lands. Indeed, some thought that might be actually where heaven resided. So he set off and he made his little curragh, little 12-foot boat. Now, according to the legend, he indeed landed somewhere, and people are assuming that this is probably North America, perhaps North America, like Newfoundland. And it was dismissed as just being legend. But then in 1976, an explorer called Tim Severin attempted exactly the same voyage, and he recreated the curragh, and he set off with a small crew. And 4,500 miles later, indeed, he hit Newfoundland. Now, he wrote a book about it, and then Irish composer Sean Davey wrote a piece of music about the book, about the adventure. And we're about to play the final movement of that work. And this piece itself is significant because it was the first time that anyone had scored a full symphony orchestra together with uilleann pipes. And it so happens that we have one of the nation's greatest uilleann pipe players with us today. And it's Conal Duffy, everybody. And we proudly present to you Newfoundland. Colonel Duffy! Let's hear it for him. In a song that was originally written by Tina Parole, but was made famous more recently by Auli E. Carvalho, a fantastic singer-actress who's perhaps most famous for voicing Moana in the famous film. She's one of these sickening people that's pretty much great at everything that she puts her hand to. So it's lovely to sing this song because it's an inspiring song of resilience. And it encourages us to dream, see, write, live your story. And that's the words of the chorus. And you'll notice that this wonderful group of singers behind me will not only be singing that, but they'll also be signing it in Irish Sign Language. This is Live Your Story. Go on, you can do louder than that. How about these kids? The Limerick Peace Proms Choir. Okay. Now, for this next piece, we welcome back the brilliant Colonel Duffy and introduce pipers of a different kind who will be making an entrance at some point. It's also a really lovely start to our tour because we're welcoming a new Highland pipe band to our Peace Proms concerts, and they are from New Ross. Let's give them a round of applause. New Ross Pipe Band. And they're going to be led by Graham Harris. And alongside them, dancers from the Michelle Johnson School of Highland Dance in Belfast. Give them a round of applause. This song is one of our favourites. We've done it for a few years now, and it's by a Norwegian composer called Thomas Bergerson. Look him up on Spotify. He does some great Celtic, Scandinavian kind of battle, heavy metal music. Okay. This is simply called Impossible. Now, something altogether more peaceful, well, at least at the start, and a piece of music where the words were actually written in 1772, and since then it has grown to be one of the most famous songs of all time, and it's been recorded by hundreds of people from Christian backgrounds and non-Christian as well. It has a universality which is particularly appealing. It's again going to feature our lead piper, Graham Harris, the Limerick Peace Proms Choir. And time to introduce a phenomenal artist. This singer has been with us, I think, on the Peace Proms tour for certainly longer than I've been in this position. I don't know, 7 or 8 years. And she continues to sort of confound me, confound the orchestra. She does such fantastic performances. And now she's probably incredibly nervous because I've given her this huge build-up. But please give her a brilliant round of applause. It's Lauren Murphy. This is Amazing Grace. The New Ross Pipe Band, Lauren Murphy, and the Limerick Peace Proms Choir. More from Lauren later on, no fear on that one. Now, it's time to introduce dancers of a different kind, our fantastic Irish dancers. And they join us really to pay tribute to one of the most important figures in Irish culture, Michael Flatley. I know I share a lot of feelings in the room with that terrible news that we had about Michael's diagnosis recently. So we send thoughts and prayers to him and his family. He has done amazing things to get Irish culture heard internationally. And I, for one, was left completely gobsmacked that Eurovision in the early 90s when Riverdance first came into life. And this show came hot on its heels. In fact, I think it was less than 2 years after Riverdance that they'd already written and done an even bigger show, and we're about to perform part of it now. This is Lord of the Dance. Donald Duffy. Come on, let's make some noise for them. Fantastic. Love that. Can't believe it. We're coming up to the interval, so we got one to go, but it's a big one because it's one of our famous Peace Proms medleys, our pop medley. Now, for this one, we're going to hear the likes of George Ezra, Whoop, Dua Lipa, and some guy who I don't think will amount to anything, Harry Styles, is also involved. So there's something for everybody. We love these, and of course it has, right at the heart of it, the Limerick Peace Proms Choir.
Thank you.
one. They're just going to keep waving unless you cheer louder. Arms down. You've earned a well-earned break. So have you. We'll see you in 20 minutes. thank you very much and welcome back. A few Cayley vibes for you there. A collection called Cade Míle Fáilte, some of our favourite Irish tunes across the years. But time now to welcome back the Limerick Peace Proms Choir. Now, when it comes to origins, we're not entirely sure if the hero of this next song is Scottish or Irish. Judging by his accent, it kind of varies between the two. He's certainly Celtic, we're given that. He's very green and he's got funny ears. We're, of course, talking about the brilliant Shrek. And of course, this has been made into a musical. And one of the great songs from the musical they selected was a classic 60s, 70s song by the Monkees called I'm a Believer. The Limerick Peace Proms Choir! Be a bit louder! Love that song. Our leader, this handsome young man here, he was only 8 years old when he joined this orchestra, and he joined right at the back desk of the third violins, and then he fought his way to the front over the next years. And he is now studying at the Royal Northern College of Music. He's got a great future as a fantastic violin soloist. And we thought, well, he does so much for us, sat in that chair leading the orchestra, but we need to give him a little bit more stage time. So he's now going to be... Right. And this is a song that he loves, we love playing as well. It's by the same guy that wrote Impossible, that Norwegian fella, Thomas Bergerson. The fantastic Richie Dunn is about to play Flight of the Silver Bird. Awesome. Well done, mate. Okay. Whilst we're talking about good things and thanking, if you have a program, you might have seen somebody's name mentioned next to the composers list, next to the pieces. And this chap's name is Paul O'Brien, and Paul essentially writes the majority of our arrangements. So when a piece of music is written, it's written for a certain, certain forces or a, certain kind of ensemble. We are a completely unique ensemble, and so it's important that somebody writes with our specifications in mind. And this legend also plays kit brilliantly, and so he's one of our key drummers. Paul O'Brien, everybody. Round of applause. Go and let's stand up. There he is. And Paul, indeed, has put this next medley together. This is our kids' dance medley. I've been looking forward to this all day. Now, there's a bit of Black Eyed Peas in here, there's some Pitbull, there's some Coldplay for the middle-aged out there, and also, oh, hello. It's okay, we're on him. That's fine, that's going to be fine. We take them into the orchestra that young, so it's all okay. And we're also including probably the most famous sea shanty ever written. Now, as promised, kids, we're going to get your mums and dads and relatives standing up and boogieing. That's going to happen in the last part of the medley. At that point, I'm going to turn around and I'll shout some stuff out, and we can just kind of unleash those hips and give it some. But before we get to that particular song, we are doing a bit of Coldplay, A Sky Full of Stars, which is really cool. And I was thinking, would you mind turning on the lights on your phones? Keep them out of sight for now. Keep them out of sight. And I'll turn around. Look, I brought my phone. When I wave my phone at you, that's when you can just give us a sky full of stars. Okay, so there's a bit of camera work, and then there's some dancing as well. Here we go. This is our kids' dance medley. relatives a round of applause, kids. They did it for us. Fantastic. Well done. Take a seat. That was great. Well done. Now, something very exciting is about to happen because we are playing Carnegie Hall in New York on March the 17th, and it is a huge deal for us. So 17 shows in Ireland, and then we're finishing up our tour essentially in one of the most coveted venues in the entire world, and we're very, very grateful that we've got this opportunity. So that's happening on March the 17th. There are still tickets available. You can buy that after you've bought your kid an instrument. Now, it's very important, though, that we get the word out there to the good people in New York that we're coming, so that then we can expect a full house and really rock the house like we're doing tonight. And so what we're actually going to do is we're going to record the next 4 songs as if we were going live to a New York Irish festival. And the festival is called the Origin First Irish 2023. Okay, now, it's all going to just run as normal, but you guys have a part to play in this, okay? So we need to do this as if we were going live, but actually secretly we're recording it. Okay, now what's going to happen is I'm going to do a little bit of an introduction, and at certain times you need to cheer. Those times are going to be really obvious because of the way I do the intro, okay? So when I say something like, "Good evening, New York," you go crazy. That's it, yeah. Go. And then I say, that's it. That's cool, all right. Don't expand the part, we'll be here all night. Okay, so I go, "Good evening, New York," then you do that thing, and then I say, we'll treat this as a rehearsal, yeah? A big cross-border orchestra, hello from Ireland. Consul General Nolan and guests of Origin First Irish 2023, on behalf of the Cross-Border Orchestra of Ireland, we are thrilled to be joining you from County Limerick. 28 years ago, this orchestra was a concept. The idea to unite young people from different backgrounds using music as the medium. Today, we are a flagship international peace initiative boasting 140 members strong, and on our way to Carnegie Hall. We have some pieces to play you now, the first one being planned, and then we'll go into it, okay? Then after we've done our 4 songs, I'll do something like "Sincere thanks, blah, 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 Carnegie Hall at March the 17th. Good evening, August Slán from the University of Limerick." Go. And we'll keep that cheer going a little bit so we've got something to fade out in post. All right, are you okay? I'm sorry, we can offer you no fee for this participation. Okay, should we do this then? You guys are brilliant, thank you very much. All right. But other than that, it's just like it's your concert, okay? We're just doing some intros. All right, here we go. Right, you ready? Get ready for Plancher and the Gale, guys, because we're going to go into it pretty soon. All right, here we go. Good evening, New York! A big cross-border orchestra, hello from Ireland! Consul General Nolan and guests of Origin First Irish 2023, on behalf of the Cross-Border Orchestra of Ireland, we are thrilled to be joining you from County Limerick. 28 years ago, this orchestra was a concept. The idea was to unite young people from different backgrounds using music as the medium. Today, we are a flagship international peace initiative boasting 140 members, and we're on our way to Carnegie Hall. We have put together a little program for you. The first one is a story of romance set against the backdrop of the plantation of Ulster back at the beginning of the 17th century. The story is a young Catholic girl falling in love with a young Protestant boy. The girl, represented by the Uilleann Pipes, and the boy, the Highland Pipes. They both play their tunes, and then those themes join together as an illustration of the desire for reconciliation. Now, this piece was originally written by Brendan Monaghan, who's from Banbridge up in the north, but here it's been arranged by Brian Byrne and myself. This is the prelude to Planter and the Gale.
Piper, Conal Duffy. Now, seeing my song as an anti-war song, this Dire Straits hit
suggests the insanity of war, but it really speaks of a story of fallen comrades and solidarity, which in the final verse encourages us to think about our brothers on the other side of those trenches. To sing it, we have one of the most brilliant vocalists in the country. Please welcome Lauren Murphy. This is Brothers in Arms.
Lauren Murphy. Graham Harris and our friends from New Ross Pipe Bands and Colonel Duffy. And the Limerick Peace Proms Choir.
This next song is, I suppose you could call it a centerpiece of modern Irish culture. Written in response to tragic events in 1993, it is particularly important that we perform this here because it is a Cranberry song written by the brilliant Dolores O'Riordan. And Lauren's going to sing this for us, of course. This is Zombie.
Silence, who are we mistaken? But you see, it's not me, it's not my family. In your head, they are fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their guns and their bombs. In your head, they are crying. Zombie, zombie, zombie.
Ross. Huge cheer, please, for the amazing Lauren Murphy. Lauren, of course, will be joining us in New York as well, so looking forward to that. We finish our little set for you with a song which, of course, is all about collaboration. This orchestra that you can tell, this is a very important part of what we do, is taking different Celtic traditions and bringing them together and just letting them coexist. And for a generation, this song by U2 has enormous significance. Brings together our two pipe groups and our two dance teams, and we very much hope you enjoy this. Thank you very much for joining us. We will, of course, be seeing you all, no doubt, in New York, but thank you for joining us this evening. We finish with Where the Streets Have No Name.
Where
So sincere thanks to Mick and the team at Origin for inviting us to be part of Origin First Irish. Enjoy the rest of the evening, New York, and we look forward to seeing you all on March the 17th at Carnegie Hall! So good evening, Agus Slán from the University of Limerick. And we're back in the room. You are so lovely. Thank you very much for all of that support. That's brilliant. Good. Now, that brings us around to the last few songs. But this next one, it's great because it really allows the orchestra to let their hair down. I'm a big fan of 90s dance music and some of the naughty stuff. And then when we got into the 2010s, I don't know what happened. But that older stuff I kind of like. So the brilliant Paul O'Brien has stitched one together and it's fantastic. Now, I talked a little bit before about recruitment. If there are any young people out there that think they would like to join this fantastic orchestra, do not be put off by the fact that we rehearsed in Dundalk. Don't let that allow it to beat you. Because we have, I think, half a dozen members of the orchestra who travel every week from Limerick. Am I right? Stand up if you're from Limerick. Where are you? There's one there. There's one there. Yeah, look. Hey, Limerick dudes. Look, Dara's bought his blowy thing. Go on, have your moment. Yeah. You can tell he's from Limerick just by doing that. So this orchestra is, the age range is like 13 up to 23 and a little bit. And also on our tour, we have playing with us our fantastic team of tutors. We don't just kind of give them the scores and this all happens. It takes an enormous amount of work, an enormous amount of practice on behalf of these young people that really put in the graft. So I want to have a round of applause, please, for the tutors of this orchestra. Thank you. And also, there's one big team of people that we haven't mentioned. Believe it or not, this orchestra is run by probably about 4 or 5 people, which is staggering, isn't it? The orchestra, we've also got 2 training platforms as well, one called Count Us In and one called Dynamics, which is for really little ones to learn string instruments. So there's something for everybody. But it's run by about 4 or 5 people and a massive team of volunteers. So can we have a round of applause for all our volunteers? And so we dedicate the following dance medley to them. Now, there's a little bit for everyone in here. There's some Lady Gaga, there's some Madonna, there's even some Prodigy. I insisted on it. Yeah, thank you. And also, we've put in some Faithless as well, because a few weeks ago, we lost their lead rapper and singer, Maxi Jazz. So we're sending up a prayer, partial dedication to him. Love you, Maxi. So we'll all do a little bit of a stand-up when we get to the Faithless bit, okay? Love you. Thank you very much. Here we go. your feet, here we go. Let's hear it for Lauren Murphy and this awesome orchestra. Which brings us around to our very final song, which has kind of turned into a peace prom anthem over the year, which is why we close with it. So it perfectly sums up in its lyrics the message that we want to give about peace and unity and bringing people together. This involves quite a lot of the cast, so Conal's back, Lauren's going to lead this one, and also our friends from New Ross will be making an appearance as well. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, thank you so much for joining us today. You truly have been an awesome audience, so thank you very much. We'll leave you with this. This is called You're the Voice. absolutely awesome this evening. Opportunity to give some applause to specific people that made the night what it is. First off, the brilliant Kogal Dutton. And next, led on by Pipe Major Graham Harris, the New Rock Pipe Band. Let's hear it! And what a star this person is. Part of the Peace Proms family for a good few years. We hope a good few more. Lauren Murphy! The leader of our orchestra and a star in the making, if that a star of the now, Richie Dunn. Such a pleasure to work with these young people for the